probably what you guys said.
Alright, how y'all doing? I'm James Williams. Alright, I'm gonna give y'all a speech about, the Army life and civilian life. They each got their own perks and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna give you the rundown. This week we had a discussion thread, and on my discussion thread, the question was how to capture your audience's attention. Alright? And what better way than to talk about what we actually do every single day. We're in the Army, right? So, three of my buddies, well, me, Maine, and Arlen, we all got here at the same time. Two decided to re-enlist, one decided to get out. So it kind of just motivated me more to talk about the Army life and civilian life. What keeps people in, what gets people out, And they all got their own perks, alright? So, one of the advantages, the thing about the Army, right, is we got everything in the civilian life to do too. You see what I'm saying? You got movie theaters, grocery stores, you got clothing stores, you got churches, you got playgrounds and stuff like that for kids. Everything that civilian life has, you will have too. But at the same time, the Army life presents itself a little bit better with bringing you in. You see what I'm saying? Maine's wife, she was Fort Polk. They're moving to Fort Huachuca, right? She didn't even move over there yet, and people were already inviting her, sending her pictures, planning things with her, and she was still living here. So the family members, they welcome you in, all right? That's one of the advantages of the Army life. You see what I'm saying? Military life encourages family support one another. One of the most valuable assets is a family. When you're adjusting to change the networks, those families have gone through the same thing you're going through. This was her first move, and they were accepting her and showing her how and what to do. That's one of the advantages of military life, because in civilian life, I had a buddy who lived in San Antonio. He worked there, had a position change, moved to New York. Nobody, brought him in. Nobody, escorted him. Nobody added him on Facebook and said, hey, this is what you're about to go through and stuff like that. But they added her and him. So that's one thing that the Army does for you. You see what I'm saying? What's it called? On the other hand, right, the military lifestyle carries much more responsibility than the civilian life. We go to the fields, we work 24/7 all through the field because you got security, you got like 4 hours of sleep and stuff like that, So we work 10 times a little bit harder than what the civilian life do. All right, because MPs, right, you go 12-hour shifts, right? You go home, sleep, eat, go back to work the next day. So you got to work a lot more than what the civilian life do. All right, you're always there to put your life in the risk and try to go to combat zone. You must be at work on time. There are no getting stuck in traffic excuses, or you will face punishment. You must consistently be well groomed, live up to the working and presentation standards, and talk to others according to specific rules. You usually do not have an option of saying no and just quitting when you feel like it, because we're all under contract. After all, you are charged with protecting the United States, and if you fail to the security, the country is at stake. So you have a lot more weight on your shoulders than a regular civilian life do. So that's the perks of the civilian life. You wake up, do your job, go home, sleep, do whatever you want until the next day you got to go back to work for your 9-to-5 job. So Army, like this saying says, you're a soldier 24/7. Civilian life, if you a garbage man, you the garbage man from 9 to 5. So that's the perks about being civilian, and then civilian life offers you more money, right, for the job you do. All right, that's why Arlen, the one that decided to get out the Army, he wants more money for the things that he do. So he's about to get out the Army, and he's about to make more money than us. Hey, that's what he wants to do in life. So that's why people come out the Army. All right, if they chase money, or you you must spend money to join, go to educational, right? You must spend money to go to college and stuff like that. And the Army pays for it, with your TEA and stuff like that. All right. If you move, right, the Army moves you. If you move by yourself in the civilian sector, you moving your stuff. The Army, I'm moving to Alaska. The Army's paying for all my stuff to go up there. So there's that perks and stuff like that. The responsibility is held entirely on you to do what you got to do in civilian life. In the Army life, you got everybody to help you out at some times, alright? Alright, so now I'm gonna, kind of move into like military and slash civilian, alright? I'm gonna give you the perks and non-perks, alright? Which I plan on kind of doing anyway. The pay is basic pay, special pay with tax advantages. Pay is comparable to civilian sector pay, usually higher than military pay. However, there are usually no tax advantages. Healthcare, several options, including full coverage that you do not have to pay for. Depends on an employer. Often you must pay your own or pay partial amounts and copay. Housing is provided by the military. If you live off base, the military provides a basic allowance for housing. Tax-free. Responsibility. Usually your cost is all covered. Insurance comparisons, life insurance, all free. Employers may or may not have insurance plans. Education. GI Bill, branch college programs, graduate education for officers. There are endless possibilities. Your responsibility, you pay for it all. You don't have to pay for it all. Travel, most likely you will travel to several spots through deployment. In your space time, there is also space to travel, as well as rate deals for military members. Many choices, but you pay out of pocket for all of them. Vacation. That's one of the biggest things I like about the military. You get 30 days guaranteed vacation per year. Varies. Most employers start you at 10 to 14 vacation days per year, with little increase until you have worked several years. It's like my uncle. I asked him to drive up to Alaska with me because my dad wanted to, but I wanted to kind of my uncle too at the same time. So my uncle, he can drive a little faster, but my uncle, he can't do it because he's a school teacher, so he can't just take off whenever he wants. He has those certain days, and here he went on a cruise, so he was like, I can't do it. But if I was in the military, I got my 30 days. I got 65 right now, I can just, hey, you need my help? Put my leave in, and I can go ahead and go help whoever needs the help. All right. Work hours vary. Occasionally work weekends. You are on call 24/7 days a week, but full-time jobs are usually 35 to 50 per week. Like I just said, MPs, you can call at any time on your day off, and you work all day, and then out there you work 35 to 50 hours per week. Opportunities for advanced excellence. You are challenged by your leaders and peers. The choice is yours. If you would like to advance or not. Very widely in small companies, you may not have much opportunity. In larger companies, you may have opportunities, but have often to work much more hours. In retirement, most can retire at 20 years of active duty service. In some cases, you may retire after 15 in service. Varies. Most employers will require you to work 35 or more years before retirement. So that's one of the perks about being in the military. I'm going to retire in the military at 38 years old if I stay in for my 20 years. So, in saying all that, you got perks in the military, you got perks in the civilian sector. So it all depends and varies on which way you would like to go and which one you would like to stay in. So, other than that, that's my speech for today. Thank y'all for coming.